Hi friends, today we're making a blueberry French toast casserole. This is one of my family's favorites. I got this recipe from my baby sister Ellen, and it feeds a crew, so hopefully you have a lot of people in the house to feed after you make this. We're going to start with 12 slices of bread, which I have already cubed. You take the crust off and cube them. And normally I would use that cheap white bread that tends to make this really tender. I'm using some homemade bread because that's what I had. So anyway, just make sure you take the crust off and cut it into little cubes, 12 slices. Really, really simple. Put it in a greased 9x13 pan. You can see I've already buttered this pan. Or you can use your spray if that's what you prefer. So then we take 12 eggs. That's right, 12 eggs. This is a big casserole. And I've already cracked all the eggs and whisked them. To 12 eggs, we're going to add 2 cups of milk. So I've got my 2 cups of milk. And you're going to whisk this up really well. And to this, you're going to add 1/3 of a cup of maple syrup. Now, you can use honey. That'll change the flavor. You serve this after it's done. You serve this with maple syrup. So I prefer using maple syrup. But if you don't have it and you don't like it, go ahead and use honey. But you need that sweet liquid to help sweeten the casserole. So before we pour this onto the bread, the next thing you're going to do is take 2 8-ounce squares of cream cheese, which I have cubed. And you're going to take and you're going to just kind of spread them out on top of your bread. And use your fingers to kind of separate things. I cubed this, and you can tell there's a difference in the consistency between one and the other. It's because this was frozen, this was not. So that's not going to make any difference when you bake it up. But sometimes, you just pick up too much cream cheese and you gotta stick it in the freezer. So I've got 2 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese, and I've got them spread out. I think this is pretty good. Spread out on top of our bread. Let's get that off. Okay, and to that, let me wipe my hands. To that, we're going to add 1 cup of freshly washed blueberries. And make sure you wash them and they're drained dry. You don't want wet blueberries. And stem them, because nobody wants to bite into a big old blueberry stem. So you're going to spread those out on top. That's looking pretty good. Make sure everything's kind of even. It's all going to get mushed down in a minute anyway, because now we take the milk and egg mixture and with the maple syrup in it. And that's all mixed up, and we're going to pour this right over the top. This is such an easy casserole. Pour this evenly over the top, and then I'll show you what to do in a minute. The one thing we do generally with this is let it sit overnight. This is the great thing about this thing, is you let it sit overnight, and then you just put it in the oven in the morning and bake it, and it's fresh, and oh my gosh, it tastes so great. But for today's class, I'm going to just let it sit for about an hour, and then I'll put it in the oven. Anyway, here we go. It might be easiest. I'm going to do this with my hands. They're clean. I'm going to push down so all that bread absorbs that egg and milk mixture. That's what needs to happen. The bread needs to absorb, and this will bake up into a beautiful, puffy, golden brown blueberry French toast breakfast casserole for you. So let's let this sit for about an hour at this point. I'll put it in the oven at 350 for, I think it's about 40 minutes. About 30, it's 30 minutes with the top on and another 15 minutes with the top off to get it all golden brown. And then we'll come back and see what it looks like. So I've cooked the blueberry French toast breakfast casserole for about 30 minutes with the foil on, and then another 30 minutes foil off. I did the whole hour and heated the whole hour. in a 350 degree oven. I've brought it out. I've let it cool right now for about for about 5 minutes because I didn't want to burn my tongue when I taste it. But it looks absolutely wonderful. I'm really pleased with the appearance. Let's see how it tastes. So I'm just cutting a square. You can also just scoop it out if you want. But let's see if I can get this up without busting it. Wow, that's great. Okay, here we are. Let's give it a look here. Yeah, everything is cooked. This is the cream cheese, but you can see the egg is cooked. It cooks right into the bread. The bread gives it some substance, we're going to try it now. I'm going to put a little bit of maple syrup. So this is how you serve it. You can do whatever you want. You can put butter on it if you want to put butter on it. It's like eating French toast. You can put maple syrup. You can put powdered sugar. You can put nothing. I'm sure it's perfect just the way it is. I can see that it's steaming, so it's going to be a little hot. So I'm going to be very careful now when I take a little corner of this. It is, after all, it is cheese and fruit, and you know how fruit can be really hot straight out of the oven. So let me give it a little taste test. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I think your family is going to absolutely love this breakfast bake. And remember, you can do it the night ahead. Just mix all the ingredients up, stick it in the fridge, and then the next morning, take it out of the fridge, put it in the oven for a half hour, top on, half hour, top off, and you will have a fresh breakfast for the family when they wake up. So enjoy it. I'll see you this Thursday.